Hey, Alpha fam, welcome back to another episode of Alpha Commission. Today on Alpha Commission, of course, we're going to go over that sideways action on the crypto bubbles. And so let's just jump straight to the charts, guys. We are on the 1 hour here on Bitcoin. You can see that we are putting in a bit of a broadening descending wedge, which in my opinion is bullish. It suggests that we could pop up potentially up to this 29,600-ish area, assuming that we don't lose support and maybe put in one last leg down here where the invalidation would put us below our horizontal support and could even take us to our range lows. So what we're looking for essentially is just to flip the kind of lid of that broadening wedge and then just do a pop-up here and then potentially continue in that line for what I would like to see as a just a completion of the pattern that I was looking for in last episode, where we could potentially put in this kind of big old cup and handle here with a measured move to 32,000, and that would be my target as we start to push forward. Of course, we do have to take out that previous high here of 31,000, and then should we get rejected from there, I'll be looking for a higher low to suggest continuation, or perhaps we just begin to break down. But we can investigate that in a later episode. Currently, we just need to flip this broadening, a descending wedge, push up and complete the neckline, flip that neckline, and then have a confirmation of our run up. So we have the conditions for a cup and handle, right? This is going to be our validation point, and then the actual push up will be our confirmation. So conditions, validation, and confirmation, those things always go together when you're looking for a play. And just because we identified the conditions doesn't mean that it was validated yet. That's really what this next move is going to be about, assuming that this broadening descending wedge doesn't fail on us. Now, guys, as you just got a little bit of a preview of, I was going to just show you what we've been going through in the last, basically the last 24 hours, which is essentially that we had a bit of a rising wedge on the chart, and that rising wedge did have a targeted breakdown of approximately this valley over here. It also had a bullish pullback to the 382. Should we fail here? Yes, we could get a pullback to the golden pocket or perhaps the 0.5 and then try again. But I think that this all looks very bullish. We are making higher lows, and nothing about this chart is telling me that it's bearish yet. We're just having a little bit of a sideways action, just a little bit of a retrace on the charts there. Now, the PCE data wasn't as good as what people would like, but it wasn't terrible. And then we also got GDP numbers, which suggested, we weren't in a recession, but, we were closer to a recession than we would like to be. And so, again, like the bears and the bulls aren't very happy these days, and we're just kind of chopping out some middle ground. And Bitcoin is using that opportunity to take baby step after baby step up in the charts. And so I think overall things are still looking bullish for this asset. And I'm going to continue to have that perspective until we potentially have a reassessment at 32,000. Then we're going to have to see, are we going to break down, or are we going to do that push to 35 and really kick this chart into overdrive? Guys, let me just throw this off because, again, the play that we're looking for is this, it's the pattern really isn't necessary to be perfect. Again, we're just looking for price action. And so I'm just looking for this kind of janky kind of, cup and handle type structure, this price action. You could also call it, an accumulation wedge over here, depending how long we draw out and whether or not we can continue to tag a neckline but not yet break through it. It could just drag out and become this kind of triangle over here that then itself might have a measured move to a 31,000 or something. But well, actually, because of the drop over here, I mean, I guess the technical target would still be 32,000. I mean, that was a huge wick, but it counts. So yeah, I mean, we could still have a technical target of 32, even if we're starting to play off of an accumulation wedge. So again, the pattern doesn't really matter so much as the price action, and that's what I'm looking at right now, just to validate that move. But the setup is still alive. I'm not seeing anything bearish. Let's go ahead and jump over to the 6 hour and throw some lines on for us night owls. So if you are a night owl, maybe you can catch this play. The 6 hour is closing in an hour, but these lines tend to remain valid for a couple sessions. So right now we are pushing the limit of that broadening descending wedge. It's not really very clear on the 6 hour. But you can see, should it play out, it is going to bring us to sit above that 6 hour volatility pivot, which will give us a great chance of getting that volatility push into the bullish control zone, which currently sits at $29,640. So that's our goal, getting above this 29,500, getting above 29,000, let's say 650. That's our goal, because that's going to suggest continuation to the upside on these 6 hour sessions here. Now, should we start to break down, you're going to first get a hint of that underneath 29,310. It's going to be a little warning. We're going to lose a significant amount of momentum underneath 29,120. And, we're going to lose our neutral point of control underneath 28,720, at which point bears will be lying in wait underneath 27,410. But that is quite a ways away, and we do have this supportive structure here. If we throw on the EMAs, we are above the 20, we are above the 9, we are above the 4 EMA, and so that's bullish, bullish, guys. And so I can't hate on this chart. The 6 hour looks good, even though we are underneath the volatility pivot. Now, the thing to remember about the volatility pivot is if there's any random volatility on the charts, and guys, like trading, there's a degree of randomness in it, okay? Like, that's the basis of trading. You can't all be fixed on the same number. Like, if it was just so logical and if it was so consistent and predictable, then we would all choose the same number. And so what happens is that spontaneously volatility is created in the market, and that's why the volatility pivot is so important to be on the right side of it. Should there be just some crazy volatility that pops up, then that could send us to the downside statistically in our current orientation. But overall, we are making higher lows, even though we're also making lower highs on this short time frame, and we are very supported at these EMAs. So I do think that we have the ability to push, especially with that 1 hour pattern that could take us up above the volatility pivot. We just need to see it happen pretty soon. We don't want to lose this area, okay, guys? And because if we drop down here, especially if we lose 29,120, we might get into a 921 EMA squeeze to the downside, and then I would be suggesting that, yeah, we're probably going to visit our range lows, where we're going to be propped up perhaps by the 200 SMA somewhere around 27,750. But currently, again, I'm leaning bullish, even though we're underneath that 6 hour volatility. I think it's within striking distance. I think we're going to go for it, okay? But just to be aware of the risk. Guys, the daily is looking far superior. And if we jump over to the daily here, you can see that, again, we're above the 20, above the 9, we're above the 4. So bullish, 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 like those are the things that you want to be above. And we're also above the alpha momentum pool on the daily. So that is a great sign, with our volatility pivot all the way down at 27,420. And so we just have volatility at our back on the daily. So even if the hourly or the 6 hour power kind of fails, kind of squeezes us down. Look, we have a lot of room to the neutral point of control, which suggests we're going to be on the bullish side of things. And as long as we're, either in the momentum pool or above it, then I would suggest that overall we're more likely to squeeze to the upside and take a stab at that bullish control zone, which will lie above 30,000 30,340. Why is that number significant? Because we do have these measured moves on these bigger structures, both that kind of janky cup and handle and the accumulation wedge, which would suggest that we could potentially get above there, towards that 31,000. And again, that will just imply continuation to the upside. And I don't think I need to tell you what it means to get in the bullish control zone on the daily. Those tend to be pretty significant moves. So guys, I think that I'm going to wrap it up there. Not really much else to say. Our volatility isn't as relevant today as it was a couple days ago when we were making, this massive move, which the Alpha Fam not only called in advance, but we captured the entire move, not just once, but twice. And so congrats to the Alpha Fam. You guys are absolutely killing it. We are looking for that next play. And should it break down, don't feel bad. You guys now know where to put your stop losses and what to expect on the charts. But guys, that was your alpha for the day. Stay safe and happy trading.